Hello everyone, my name is Abia Unit. I'm a student at the University of Bamenda Center for Cybersecurity and Mathematical Cryptology. In this video, we're going to look at 4 practical techniques that every system admin should know. In this video, we're going to learn how to control who gets admin access, how to disable the sudo timer, how to set strong password policies, no 000 for passwords, and also how to set expiration date for accounts, that is, old accounts automatically get deleted from the system. So before I will move into the video, I'd like to shout out to 2 of my professors, Professor Franklin for his guidance, and I also like to shout out to Professor Fota Emmanuel, the program coordinator for the Center for Cybersecurity and Mathematical Cryptology. So let's move straight into the video. Please watch. So at the end of this lab, you'll be able to create a user account in Linux, assign passwords to users, and assign user privileges. In this lab, we're going to create 3 users, Lionel, Kathleen, and Maggie. Well, Lionel has full root privileges via sudo, Kathleen can only run system control status HSD via sudo, and Maggie can only run commands listed under the storage alias. So for these steps, we'll start by creating user accounts for Lionel, Kathleen, and Maggie. Then we'll assign them passwords. After assigning them passwords, we'll assign role-based privileges using the sudo as file. So we'll open the sudo as file using the command sudo v sudo. Then we'll find the storage command alias and we are going to uncomment it. Then we'll add these lines of commands to the end of the file. Then when we're done, we'll save the file and we're going to exit v sudo. So we'll just look at it from my AMA Linux. So this is it here. We have added all the users, Lionel, Kathleen, and Maggie. We're adding them passwords. I just choose random passwords and just add it. Okay. Okay, so we are done adding the passwords. Now we open the sudo as file using the command sudo v sudo. To insert in the v editor, use I. So you press the I key. And then we come now to the storage. Yes, we uncomment. And then we just go to the end of the file and we add the line of code. Go to the end of the file. Yes, and we add the line to it. So you can just move like 2 minutes back and copy the code and just paste it, or you just type if you can actually see what I'm doing so well. I made a mistake. So I'm actually deleting because we have to use the tabs to separate, not like your space bar. Use tabs. Okay. When we're done, you press the escape key, then you press the colon, and then you use W key to save and exit. So we are going to verify privileges. So first things first, we log in as Lionel, and Lionel opens a root shell. You see he has the privilege to open it. Then now he checks the status daemon. You see he has the permission to check the status daemon. And then he lists now the disks. Yeah, then we'll just exit. We'll leave that there. We're just testing to see. You see that he has all sudo privileges. Then we'll now log in as Kathleen. After logging in as Kathleen, we'll try to open a root shell, but you see that Kathleen does not have the privilege to run as root. The only thing that she can do is to check the status daemon. This is the only command that she's allowed to run as a root user. Then now she tries to restart the SSA service, but she does not have the permission, because the only permission that she has is the permission to check the status daemon. And she also tries now to list the disks, but then we'll see that it actually fails. She's not having the permission to list it. Then we exit. We can also try this for Maggie. So in this lab, we learn how the sudo password timer works, how to use the sudo key to make sudo ask for your password again, change settings so sudo always asks for a password, apply the settings to just one user, test the change using our account and the Lunel account that we created in our previous lab. So we start by logging into the same ARMA Linux virtual machine that we used for the last lab. And in our own user account, we are going to enter the sudo commands. And after that, we are going to disable the sudo timer. After disabling the sudo timer, we are going to verify by typing in some sudo commands. And then we are going to disable the sudo timer for a specific user. That's going to be Lunel. Lunel we created in the last lab. And then we soon then we are going to log in as Lunel and perform the commands again. So this is my ARMA Linux virtual machine. So I'm just typing some sudo commands, and we see that as I'm typing the sudo commands, I'm not being asked for my password. This is the sudo timer in action, because the sudo timer means like once I type my password, the system remembers the password for a few minutes before asking again. But now we are going to reset the sudo timer using the sudo -k. When you use the sudo -k, you see that when I type now the next command after the sudo -k, it asks me for my password. But later now, I can now just be typing some sudo commands before I'm asked again. So we are going to disable the sudo timer. We'll open the sudo file, and in the sudo file, we'll go to the default specifications. And we are going to set the default timestamp timeout to 0. Then we save and exit. Then we'll come back and then we'll type some sudo commands. We see that any sudo command that you type now will be asked for the password. So we have disabled the sudo timer. So now we're going to log in. We'll go back to our sudo file, and we are going to disable the timer for a specific user, Lionel. So we'll just be doing for Lionel. So when Lionel wants to type any when Lionel wants to run any sudo command, he needs to give his password. Let's save and exit. So now I want to log in as Lionel. Okay, so I'll just check I'll list the disk space, and you see that as Lionel wants to just type any sudo command, he's asked for his password. So we'll just test for all the other commands. We'll just do for the other commands. So you see, so we have successfully disabled the sudo timer for Lionel. So that is all. Thank you. by the end of this lab, you'll be able to set and manage account expiration dates using user add and user mode. Assign passwords and require users to change them on first login. Use charge to configure password aging rules like the minimum days between changes, maximum password age, inactivity period after expiry, and the warning period before expiration. And we'll verify all these settings using the charge -L. So first, we start by creating a user account for Samsung with the expiration date of 30th June 2025. Then we'll use the user mode to change Samsung's account expiration date to the 31st of July 2025. Then we'll assign passwords for Samsung's account, then force him to change his password on his first login. Then we'll verify this by logging in as Samsung, then change his password, then logging back to our own account. Then we're going to use charge to set a 5-day waiting period for changing passwords, a password expiration period of 90 days, an inactivity period of 2 days, and a warning period of 5 days. So we're going to do that. This is the Ubuntu virtual machine. So we'll be adding the user Samsung. If you use ARM Linux, you just use the sudo user add Samsung. Then you come and use the charge to add this. So we're just checking. So I've changed the expiry date to the 31st of July. Let's see. Don't mind my password. I love just putting random things because of this account. Okay, so now we'll log in as Samsung. You see that as a Samsung login, is required to change his password immediately. So now we'll finally configure more advanced password policies using charge. So we'll start by setting the 5-day minimum wait between password changes, the 90-day max password life, and the 5-day warning before expiration. And we show the information so you can see.